Hello all, welcome to AmbariCloud. In this video, I'm going to walk through AmbariCloud Open Lakehouse 108 Recipes book overview. So this book we started writing almost past 6 months, and keep modifying every day, almost every day, whenever there is a change in the data engineering, particularly in the Iceberg. Features either Snowflake, Cloudera, Databricks, Dreamio, Trinio, S3, you name it, right? We have implemented every combination of architecture in this ebook. So the purpose of this ebook is provide recipes. Even the book called as 108 recipes, we almost have 170 recipes. Each recipe is self-contained and fully tested code. And then we are implemented various architectures, what we have learned while we are doing the projects, and then working with Apache, Iceberg, Slacks, and also from various industry experts asking questions, me asking questions, and then answers, and then we test it. Then, knowledge from many sources, experts, gurus, right? And then this reference book, ebook, has every part of every combination of Iceberg architecture. Right. And so start with how to configure your Iceberg requirement for Spark. Initially, we thought, users can develop this code and practice on their laptops, but then we decided to create a AWS configuration. We're going to have a image. You can build your own image, AMI image. And then we're also planning on adding that image in Marketplace. Then we can download it. So from there, so that way you can learn some of the AWS features, how to set up EC instance, security groups and keys and all the stuff, then how to build an image, then how to use it. And so you can learn some of the AWS DevOps. And then here, then we're gonna, if you look at here, the topics here, right? Before we go, I want to, in the history, we keep adding it, and then if some of them are deprecated, when they, so let's, for example, if you look at Cloudera Snowflake introduced some new changes, and then, we deprecated the previous recipes and then added new recipes, so that way then we're always up to date. So always check the history, and what are the changes we are adding, or what are the new things adding, or what are the changes, what are the things we are modifying it. So here, how to create a VPC and S3 bucket and then AMI and all the stuff. Then we're going to talk about configuration of Spark, how to connect to Hadoop catalog, Hive catalog, Glue catalog, and then Polaris catalog and multi-catalogs and all the stuff. Then we're going to dive into Open Lakehouse, why we need a Open Lakehouse, and we compare with Hive. And then also we'll practice Hive because we want to have a baseline of Hive. Then we look at Iceberg and compare Iceberg is built on top of data lakes and then open lake houses, and then why Iceberg compared to Big O notation. Then we dive into Iceberg features, DL statements and more versus cow, like copy and merge and read, copy and write, table formats, then partitioning, then compare, then hidden partition, then if you don't have proper Hive partition key in Hive, what happens versus partition, you don't have to do a partition key in Iceberg. So we'll walk through those. And then, if you look at here, schema evolution, then, different table formats. Then we're going to look at in the maintenance, rewrite data files, rewrite manifest file, and expire snapshot. Then we talk about time travel, all those features we're going to learn about it. Then the most important part of data engineering in Iceberg is data code. We will introduce WAP, write, audit, publish, and branching, multi-branching, and then how to build your ETL architecture, ETL pipeline architecture using branch, we will discuss. Then Snowflake. So we are also learning Snowflake and how to create Iceberg tables, then various Snowflake tables, then how to integrate with Polaris, how to integrate with Glue, or how to read Databricks, how to read Cloudera, and vice versa. We will practice some of these. Then dynamic tables in Snowflake and credential vending, all those features we learn. So there's a lot of recipes if you look at here in the Snowflake. Then we will dive into Polaris catalog, which is a joint venture mostly with the Dreamio guys and Snowflake guys. exercise, and we will deep dive how to implement catalog, internal catalog, external catalog, and how to do build RBACs, and then how to connect from Spark, and then how to connect internal catalog versus external catalog. We will do that. Then how to migrate from Glue to Polaris, Polaris to Glue, and then how to sync Snowflake to your Polaris catalog. We will look at all those recipes here. And then how to migrate from Snowflake to Iceberg when lift and shift. If you look at here, we have a step-by-step procedures. And then also we can look at how to access Polaris via REST curl statements, and then some of the maintenance here. Then we're going to dive into Hive to Iceberg migration and what are the different strategies we're going to implement Hive to Iceberg migration. Then we're going to look at Iceberg on-prem to cloud. Yes, we can do migrate HDFS to HDFS and locally, but how we want to migrate from HDFS to cloud, and within the cloud, what are the things we need to implement, or what are the changes we need to look at it when you implement cloud if you want to take a backup of the Iceberg in cloud and all stuff. Then we're going to dive into AWS Glue, EMR, Spark, how to register tables from Hive, how to Glue or Glue to Polaris, and then we're going to look at some of this maintenance. For example, grab table, how to restore it, or oops, I truncate the table, how to restore it. We'll look at that. Then we're going to do some tuning and X table here, how to convert, Iceberg to Delta, Delta to Iceberg or hoodie. And also look at some of the Cloudera related features. Then here we're going to dive into Databricks Unity Catalog, and then PyIceberg, DuckDB, and Small Pond with Snowflake, Small Pond with Iceberg, and Draft and Polaris. All those things we're going to look at in the PyIceberg domain. Some just introduction to how Oracle can read our Iceberg tables, and then we're going to talk about Dreamio and Snowflake Dreamio, how to migrate, then Trinio practice here, and Rising Wave, ClickHouse. Then look at the appendix, some of these code snippets here. Then finally here, runbooks. Okay, one more. We're going to look at the Lakekeeper catalog too. Then finally runbooks. When you are in production, before you go to production, you need to have a fully developed for each table a runbook, because each table is different. So then, if you look at, we implemented all step-by-step runbooks on the stuff. This is very detailed step-by-step procedure, why we need a recipe, what is the purpose of it, in what scenarios you're going to use the recipe, and then, what tools. So here we are suggesting the architecture. We're not criticizing any tool. And whatever the tool has the capabilities, we can say, hey, if you want to do this architecture, if you have a Cloudera, this is how we're going to do it. If you have a Snowflake, this is how we're going to do it. Or you want to migrate from Snowflake permanent table to Iceberg table, this is how we're going to do it. Those are the things we're going to explain in this ebook. And then all the code is up to date, right? there is no stale. What does that mean is whenever we receive emails about, okay, we are changing particular feature, for example, recently Snowflake introduced credential vending, right? And then we added that. We modified, we deleted some of the recipes. So this book is continuously changing, and there's always user logging in here, and anybody can access this book at a given time, anytime. It's free, but I'm going to create a separate video for each recipe and walk the best step procedure. Then, you can review the code more often. Then you can copy this code, you can practice it. But all the code in this book is fully tested. So rather than rerunning the code and taking each video is more than 30 minutes is challenging. But we will some important use cases definitely we will execute through notebooks. And we also give access to the Git where we have all the notebooks are available. You can practice. But definitely a fun ebook, a lot of code. We put a lot of effort. We want to make sure every data engineer will have access to these recipes. And then if there is any recipe we added, of course, check on the history here. And if any recipe outdated, we will post it here. But I'm looking forward to record every recipe as a video and then post it here. And if you have any suggestions or questions, reach out to us. We have contact information at the bottom. Ravi and me are working on this. So Ravi located in Bangalore. I'm in Chicago. So have fun. Thank you all. Bye now.